Good morning. Welcome back. I hope you've had a good break because there's another block of interesting lectures. The first one will describe a specific case, a specific way how to implement a large system. It will be delivered by David Kimr and Miloš Vodrážka from Unicorn. They will present us a certain construction toolkit for creating digital twin. Miloš Vodrážka was taken by some business obligations, so he just passed over his part of the presentation to us. Don't worry, you may raise your questions to both of them. Good morning also from me. It's a big honor for me that I've been invited to participate in University Open again on the topic of information systems, and I was allowed to share with you my view and experience what's been built up in this field. Let me start from the beginning. We tend to say that every company, every society must cover two basic processes in order to be running. There are five basic ones: strategy, in order to know what to do, marketing, sales, long-term customer care, and production, of course. And in order for those to run, there must be a proper management, there must be expansion and development department. The company has to take care of people, finance, property and know-how, and it also must have a certain digital system, a digital twin, and therefore this department of support. How to create digital twins? There are three possible approaches you can meet with. The first one presumes that there will be some large IT system that will bring support to all departments, whether it's for 7 or 12, doesn't matter, because in every method of enterprising, in every process, you will find disciplines that together create the complex. This approach has its advantages, such as, for instance, user has just one solution that looks the same everywhere. There's always the same login, and orientation, navigation through is easier. Disadvantage of such a solution is that if a company needs just a subset of the solution, often it's not possible. And therefore, running such a thing may be quite expensive from the point of view of IT technologies. So what if we change our approach and we provide ourselves with some independent applications for individual processes? And we will leave support just for some of them. So sometimes you may address online services. You buy them only where you need them, so you do not spend too much. You pay just for what you actually use. It's in cloud, so it's easily scalable. If it's in use by one team and suddenly there are 100 teams use it, you do not have to see it as a problem. You just extend your license commitment. But there are some disadvantages. There are several logins, although you can integrate them through providers, for instance. Applications support different users, and if you assign what an application should do, you will have to look into email, into Troll, and in some other applications searching for individual tasks that together create the workload of a given worker. So what about if we combine those two approaches, creating a third one, creating a certain digital construction set, having smaller independent applications, but putting them together so that they appear as a single IT system, easily traceable for every user, so a certain Lego type of system. If you look at Lego, there are 7 types of bondings. There is this protrusion and a hole on the other side, or there are Lego techniques, some special tricks, pulleys, or or elastics. But if you look at it in detail, you will find out that there are just some principles, and you can construct, build up whatever you wish with using just some components. And we try to do exactly the same with information system. Our architecture supports this intention. The basic bond that connects your pieces, digital pieces that serve either to units or functions, are those ones. The first one is identity, that it's always the same and goes across the functions from the point of view of the individual. Then you need the perspective of the company that is divided into organizational units or teams or tribes or projects, doesn't matter. The principle is always similar. A certain group of people who co-work, they must have accesses to a certain set of data, set of services, and typically they do not have access to other units. In other words, they get where they are supposed to go and they do not get to where they are forbidden to go. But if you have some 15 of them, it may become a bit more complicated, and therefore we stay with the principle that we need just one hierarchy that allocates rights and accesses to users. You can run through this hierarchy very easily. Most of our presentation will be in the form of a demo. The third view is the user's one. Whatever the user is doing, I mean finance, HR, project management, planning, programming, manufacturing, whatever, it's preferable that there is just one stop shop for the user, so that all tasks per week, per day, per month are gathered in one single place and the user can easily navigate through. What it needs that application sends so-called activities in a same format, and second prerequisite that there is a workspace, a virtual workspace where a person who works in different departments, it can be even a person from another company, that this is a place where the person sees all her tasks and doesn't need to look into, I don't know, 3-4 calendars solving individual meetings. You also need a sufficient offer of applications, these small individual applications. Without them, you will not manage. If you have just one Lego piece, 4 by 4, you will not bind a lot. You will not build creations that need other pieces. So there is so-called application catalog that covers all those 12 processes, and if you have it, you need to have the view of users, I mean user interface, that doesn't follow individual applications, but it does follow tasks and services a user must have access to, so that it's composable. Last but not least, what you can click out, you must also be able to automate it. So you need an API and automation with coding, ciphering, or, for instance, with the help of AI.
It's called Business Territory. It is accessible through Plus4U net as a service, and you can use the individual parts which will cover your digital twin in your organization, or just small parts. And it is of course accessible, and it is possible to use it as an on-premise installation or as a service, online service, cloud service. So you have got application catalog here, and I can show you this catalog live. And now we are there, and you can see the range of offer, which is huge. You can get an application for basically anything. And when you put it all together with all those applications, then the user will have all those capabilities in his or her workspace, and you have got the calls, meetings, and everything you need for your work. I want to show you, and that's why I'd like to ask Miloš Vodrážka, the business territory head, to show you together with me, and together with Experience Business Studio, we would actually show you their digital twin, and it will be live demo. This is a user experience designer company. That means that they design the user environment and all those graphic features. And this is what it looks like. It's fairly actually clear, fairly simple. There are those customer experience, graphic design, user experience, and other features. We are not gonna show you everything, but this will be the user experience demo. Hello from me as well, and I will build on what David has been saying, and this is the experience design production. What we see is the business territory, as David has said. We have got a structure, and we see those orga sets, and we have got those files, and we've got user experience files, for instance, and we will show you this. And we can manage finance, management, and access rights, and all other things which have to do with my production. For instance, secondary support to my customers, and also work of my team in the application and sprints. Those are not files. No, they are not files. You're right. You're correct. Looking at those items, what we see here is the application object, and then another application object, user experience, USLS. Show us. Okay, this is the secondary support, and what you see, what the user can do is the clients can do this issue, and we can actually assess the severity and priority, and then we solve the customers or clients' problems. And all applications are set up with by components. Those are the building blocks of Lego. Okay, this is old school a bit. I would say, can we not do it a bit better, smarter? Yeah, it is a bit old school, this access. So what we would need is to have an information system with a portal, and we can put it together with these components, and we see this product and services and short-time support through SLS request, and I can send it as an issue, or long-time support where we actually address contracts. And I can show you how we can actually change this information system, this port. If we want a long-time support before short-time support, then we can move it. And if we want to give customers more information about our item, about our products, then we can open a component catalog. And that shows us components. Those are the Lego pieces, and we can put them all together, and this will be our information system, our portal. And I will put color blocks here. And what I can do is I can change the color, and I can type what our products are about. This is the easy part. And now what we need is we need to know our org structure. We have a component here where we see the rights and the who can actually access our component. And what we see is that the general manager is the responsible role, Adam Byčiště. Okay, could we see a picture? I liked the diagram you showed us in your presentation. Also possible. Looking at the presentation, there is a log, and if I actually show you, this is the component which I can change, but I can also copy it here, and then we go back to the portal, and then we, well, insert it in front before this component. So I insert it in here. Okay, and we could click on the user experience, and then it would run on the portal, but we don't have the time for it. Okay, but we haven't changed the picture, but we have it in there. And fast, we have finances here as well, finance management, and those are components from the management accounting. So let's take a look at the outlook, and if we want to compare it with the real situation, and we want to see the cash flow of the item and the budget of the item, we can also compare it with the real time situation. And those are not pictures, those are live data. Exactly, they are behind it. And the last bookmark, this is management, and we put the sprint log component, so we know what we have there and who addresses it and what it looks like. And we also have a bookmark for SLS issue, and I haven't filled it out intentionally because we actually started this support. And this is the issue overview. Okay, that means that is from the portal. Exactly, and then you click on it, and then you can... This is the information system component. And that's not all. We want to put the overview of the item activities and business territory. Those are the activities. We can actually send tasks to each other, and they are connected to applications, and we can use them within applications. We want to see what it looks like with the item. So let's look for the activity overview. Okay, we have got roughly 600 components within the applications. Yes. And what we see here is that this item is addressing 320 activities, and this is the overdue activities, 24 of them. So this is one way how we can actually use the system. How about automation? Could we test AI? Yes, we have our AI assistant, and let's take a look at it. And we might be interested in financial results. So let's type show financial results of user experience. Okay, we were showing some components which were already in it on the portal. Yes, now we are looking at the component which will actually visualize those financial results. We have got more of them within user experience. So it's the first one, user experience. But this is another component. This is a nice one, compact. And it shows you components, right? Yes, AI speaks in components and understands components. Okay, we put it in the finances bookmark. Okay, and we will insert it in here. This is a different one. No, it's the same. But this component will recognize how many data can be shown. Okay. And what I need is this management view. Okay, let's do it this way. A visual, area, or box. We can do it in the box tab. Okay, that's the same component as within AI. Okay, but do you have to write it in English? No, AI understands Czech as well and other languages. So let's write moje úkoly in Czech, my tasks. Okay, I don't need to type it. I can actually, I can use my voice for commands. Show my tasks in Czech, zobraz moje úkoly. And now we have been given components and they show us within digital workspace these tasks. Okay, this is part of the chat and I can actually take it then and I can somehow use it. And then it would show in this form as here in the chat. And if you look at it, then you will see your tasks. They know your identity. And Adam Vyčiště is the manager, so can we ask about his tasks? Okay, show the tasks of the user, Adam Vyčiště. Okay, he's the second one because he has his picture there. Okay, so you're a consultant for the system implementation, right? And AI respects the organigram and also the access rights. Exactly. Your credentials are important everywhere. What can we actually show here? Well, the assistant can show us more than what the item shows us. Okay, courses, educational courses. Have you gone to any courses recently? Yes, we can see. Show the recent lesson I went to. Okay, and this has been the course which I participated yesterday in. And how come you can chat with the portal? But could we use AI within the portal? Sure, we could. They are all components, they are all Lego pieces. So we can copy them, those components, and there's the team there somewhere, right? So can we put it before this team, in front of the team? Well, I'm just joking, of course. We appreciate your work, but AI will support your potential. Okay, AI is the member of the team. That means that within the portal you can chat with AI, yeah, and they know the chat history as well. Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we address this system and the digital twin within Plus4U net. I hope you enjoyed the experience and let's see each other next time.
Thank you for having shown us the pre-recorded presentation, but David Kimr is here. So I allow myself a question. So you work on it already, you compose it already in order to get the digital twin? Yes, the AI told us that Thursday morning the AI is rather crumpy, so we were addressed with the question, what about a different date? You can ask whatever in 130 languages, even thanks to Microsoft. I must also praise Peter's technology, Peter's effort. So it answers in the language of our interface, user interface. It answers about components, and it would be able, I mean, AI would be able to construct the whole system itself. And I appreciate it when you, but there was this complaint, you do not have access rights. I suppose that this is always tracked down. What are the access rights? Yes, one of business 6 elements is business architecture and access rights. When we put the component on the portal, we included it into organizational unit, and then the access rights are automatically read. So it gives you automatically the answer whether you are authorized or not to access. Theoretically, I could also ask, what about if I ask for the access right? Yes, you can do that. In fact, it does that already, AI. I would like to ask David, it's already 5 years when here in Unicorn University, they presented Unicorn application framework. It included cloud architecture and other things, and we can see now that there are exactly the right time to incorporate AI into it. It is already, and if you ask me whether it shouldn't be in the title, that AI boosted technology, perhaps it would be worth it to put it in the title. We will discuss it with our marketing. I liked very much this transfer from read text into a verbal, spoken text. Do you think it's a trend that we will rather speak to the assistants than to type? It extends our possibilities. Let me give you an example. When I go to a meeting, when I'm still in the car driving, I use my phone, and from the car I dictate minutes, report of the meeting. And I would like to have this feature to this year so that Lucka doesn't know about it. I use it, this voice service. Of course, I then have to review the report, but Lucka is so perfect that there's usually just one mistake, 2 mistakes. So if we can use this hat, let's say artificial hat, for some more sophisticated task, it would be an added value, but it doesn't mean that it will be always verbal instead of typed. Another question. When you showed us application or component catalog, user chooses in, what about if I ask AI if it could propose a new component? Does it have this information? We plan this to be done in the future. And as a matter of fact, AI without the data would be just helpless. So today, AI understands automation, and what power users or programmers can do, I mean, click different processes. AI can learn it also and automate other analogic things. But when you ask about components, AI is able to compose components, but if you give the data to it, I am sure that all or most of components, AI will be able to compose them. But since these are new systems, and we must be very careful about security so that user gets to where she is authorized to get, and vice versa, not to get into where it is not authorized. And until AI is firmly believed that it cannot violate these things, we will not let it go into these new features. However, Vašek Špáňa said one important thing. The future of ERP systems are composable component systems. And it's great to see that you, in Unicorn, you have a system that is fully composable, component-based, so you do follow the current trends. Well, I would even say that we are co-creators of trends. We lack time, so we have to end up. But I liked when you asked Miloš, what was my most recent lecture or course I studied. We do use this at our university. What would you recommend to me for my further studies? What would you recommend me? That is also a question we could address to AI. This is quite a good idea because AI knows my life cycle, career development. Yes, it knows your career development, your work position, and when speaking about corporate education, it knows your knowledge field, your competencies. It may know the results of your previous tests, but who knows, it could bring you some headache if it tells you all you should study. Yes, and it will probably know that I had a specific problem with an integral equation. Yes, and at the same time, when I ask it, since I am not in the hierarchy structure authorized to look at competencies of others, it will not allow me. We could continue speaking for hours, but we do not have time. AI is calling Miloš back and David, so I'm looking forward to our future occasions and your future presentations. Thank you very much for having invited me. We thank you.